Jason Kidd to the New York Knicks is heating up. That's right. It's looking like more and more of a possibility. Welcome to another edition of Knicks Latest, where we go over the latest in New York Knicks headlines, rumors, all that, etc. You can follow me everywhere at Josh_Rodriguez_. We'll have a handle for the show later down the road, but got to get to this right away because it's looking more and more like the Knicks are heavily pursuing Jason Kidd as their number one option. According to Brian Windhorst, he said on SportsCenter that the Knicks look like they want to pursue Jason Kidd, that they are going to ask for an interview. They haven't got that yet, though, from Dallas. There are multiple ways they can get him. That includes maybe even via trade. But it's looking more and more like the New York Knicks are interested in Jason Kidd. He is the man for the job, according to James Dolan, according to Leon Rose. He's the guy that they want. They fired Tom Thibodeau for this guy. They fired a coach who took the team to the playoffs 4 out of 5 years. They fired a coach who just took this team to the Eastern Conference Finals, upsetting the Boston Celtics, a team that they did not know that they can get past in 6 games. This is who they're firing Tom Thibodeau for. This is going backwards, ladies and gentlemen. We do report rumors. We are going to talk, speculation, and we are going to, report news here. But I'm also going to give you my opinion. And my opinion is that if they fire Tom Thibodeau for Jason Kidd, this was a massive, massive setback for the organization. This is a coach, Jason Kidd, who was originally hired by the Brooklyn Nets, spent a year there, left because he had beef with the front office, control of the team, is somebody who has a reputation of not being easy to work with. He goes to Milwaukee. He underperforms there. Granted, Giannis has a lot to say about him. He likes him a lot. But still, as a head coach, as somebody who was the coach of the team, massively underperformed. Once he leaves, the Milwaukee Bucks take a step forward, eventually win the NBA championship. He goes to Dallas. Granted, Western Conference Finals appearance, NBA Finals appearance, but that's what having Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving. Just, to me, somebody, if you're firing Tom Thibodeau because you don't think he makes the adjustments, because you don't think he's innovative enough on the offensive end, getting someone like Jason Kidd's not going to solve that. Jason Kidd runs a very simple offense. Pick and roll, 5 out, the same thing that the New York Knicks have been doing with Jalen Brunson. A lot of usage from the point guard position. Spread the floor. Go one-on-one, take your man off the dribble, maybe pick and roll, threes in the corners. Nothing special at Jason Kidd's offense at all. This is not the direction I thought the front office would go in. And it seems like a lot of it has to do with the fact that they want to get Giannis. I don't know how promising that is. I don't know how much the Knicks would have to give up for that. Who knows? But this is what it seems like it is. The plan seems like we're reverting back to the 2010s when they were star chasing. When it was, who's the biggest name we can get? Let's see if we can make it splash and then make something happen. The beauty of the Tom Thibodeau era, of the Leon Rose era, was that they built this from the ground up. They've used Julius Randle, your RJ Barretts, your Emmanuel Quickleys, your Quentin Grimes, all these players who are now in other places. You used them to slowly build, get better players to become this contender that you are. And now you're kind of just throwing that all to the wayside to try to build a super team and get a coach who maybe the players get along with. I mean, it's great if the players get along with the coach. I'm not saying that's not a bad thing. And maybe Tibbs lost the locker room a little bit, but there's got to be a little bit more to that. The players just can't like him. There's got to be some type of scheme that he brings to the table that Tom Thibodeau did not bring. And I just don't see that personally. This is turning out to be a very disappointing head coaching search for me. Obviously, there weren't many head coaches to begin with that were on the market. Johnny Bryant is a name that keeps coming up, that keeps resurfacing because he was an assistant coach for the New York Knicks. Now he's an assistant coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers. No one really knows what he's like schematically either. But he is a head coach that paid his dues, assistant coach that has paid his dues. Maybe you give him an opportunity. Frank Vogel, we know what he's like on the defensive end. Maybe not the coach you want that's innovative enough on the offensive end. Maybe that's the reason why they don't go his way. You have a Terry Stotts out there who coached Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum in the days where Portland Trail Blazers were going to the Western Conference Finals, where they were contenders in the Western Conference. One of the best offenses in the league. What are we doing? We're gonna seek a trade. We're gonna trade players' compensation to Dallas for a head coach who doesn't really have too much success in the league, who is known to be difficult to work with, who has domestic abuse charges in the rearview mirror. Like, what is this? We built a culture here in New York that he does not fit. He doesn't fit it. I understand he's one of the greatest players of all time. Jason Kidd does not fit the culture that Leon Rose has built here. He doesn't. One of integrity, hard work, respectability. He doesn't. It's very disappointing. So we'll see if it happens. Obviously, there's a lot of things that have to happen first. They have to be able to be granted an interview by the Dallas Mavericks. There has to be a trade of some sort. The Mavericks would have to let him go. There's a lot of steps before Jason Kidd can become the coach of the New York Knicks, but it looks like Leon Rose and company are doing whatever they can to make that happen. Among other news, Precious Sichua, it's been reported that he's unlikely to come back to the New York Knicks next season. That's something that's really not surprising here. Precious, he had his moments here in a season and a half with the New York Knicks. I like Precious a lot. I think he has a lot of potential, but I just think the inconsistent play is warranted enough to move on from him. He was barely in the rotation, if at all. I mean, he wasn't in the rotation, let's be honest. In the playoffs, he only got playing time if Cat and Mitch were in foul trouble and Tibbs desperately needed a big man. He plays hard, little undersized for his position. At times can be a very good defender. At times is not. Just inconsistency. That's the thing with Precious. But overall, solid guy, solid individual. He's a good basketball player. I hope he finds his way in the league. I hope he finds a place, that he can get consistent rotation minutes. Not sure if New York is that place. And I'll always be grateful for moments that he had in the year and a half here. I thought he played hard. Just nothing but good things to say about him on that end. I don't think he fits what the Knicks are doing going forward. So if this is the last that we see of Precious Sichua, thank you, Precious. Enjoyed your play here. Unfortunately, just was not consistent enough. Now, listen, we'll be back tomorrow. More rumors. I mean, KD is rumored to go to the Spurs or Houston Rockets, but there's also some rumors about him coming to the Knicks. Keeping an eye on Giannis, of course, and maybe some free agent news as well. So stay tuned for another episode of Knicks Latest tomorrow. If you want to follow me, you can everywhere at Josh_Rodriguez_. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to build a community here of Knicks fans here at Knicks Latest. I want to get your opinions. Drop a comment. Let me know if you think I'm bugging about Jason Kidd. And if you don't think I'm bugging, who do you want to be the coach of the New York Knicks now that they've gotten rid of Tom Thibodeau? Let's have that discussion. Let's continue that discussion all week. I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Knicks Latest. Peace.